Good afternoon. Please rise for the processional.
The Wichita State University College of Engineering and W. Frank Barton School of Business 120th Spring Commencement Ceremony is now open. Please remain standing for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, land of the free, and the home of the brave.
You may be seated. Thank you, Troy Fisher, Caleb Faust, Jake Sigrist, and Matthew Weber for performing the national anthem. Good afternoon. I'm Anand Desai, Dean of the W. Frank Barton School of Business. We are pleased to welcome parents, friends, relatives, students, university administrators, faculty, and staff to this important occasion for you, the graduates. Joining me on the platform today is Dr. Jody Pelkowski, our University Grand Marshal, who carried the mace and led the processional. Dr. Pelkowski is an associate professor in the W. Frank Barton School of Business. Jody, please stand and be recognized. It is now my great pleasure to introduce a very special group. Every great university has a dedicated faculty and staff. These are the professionals who teach in the classroom and the laboratory, work individually with students, and provide advice about their careers. These are also staff who maintain the university and ensure it operates smoothly each and every day. Would all university faculty and staff present please stand and be recognized. Please join me in acknowledging the faculty and staff of Wichita State University. Thank you. Graduates, you're all here today to mark the end of one leg of your lifelong journey of learning, that of students here at Wichita State University. While you may no longer be on campus every day, you will always be a part of our Shocker family. It is my pleasure to ask Courtney Marshall to welcome you into that community. Courtney.
Thank you, Dean Desai. It's my pleasure to welcome you here today and be the first to congratulate you. Give yourselves a round of applause. You did it. You're now a part of an important and unique group of people who represent Wichita State University around the world. You're now a member of the Shocker alumni family that's more than 100,000 graduates around the world. We truly believe that each of you will excel because of the educational foundation that you have achieved here at Wichita State University. As you make significant strides towards personal and professional success, we encourage you to stay connected to your alma mater and by becoming a participant in activities with your alumni association. We're going to help you do that by giving you a one-year gift membership in the association because we want to celebrate you and your successes. Being a member of the association helps enrich our worldwide Shocker network. It creates opportunities for engagement and can actually increase the value of your degree. Good luck on all your future endeavors. Once again, congratulations and welcome to the alumni family. I would now like to invite Paige Hungate to the podium for a few remarks. Paige was the student body president this past year.
Good evening to my fellow graduates. Like she said, my name is Paige Hungate, and I had the honor of serving as the student body president this past year. And trust me when I say I am so very excited and happy to be graduating today alongside each and every one of you. So 2 years ago, when I hit a lull in my education, I was concerned about where I was going and what I was going to end up doing. And one of my best friends sent me a quote that is, stay true to me to this day. So it goes a little something like this. It says, I began to realize how important it was to be an enthusiast in life. If you are interested in something, go at it full speed ahead. Embrace it with both arms, hug it, love it, and above all, become passionate about it. Lukewarm is no good. That quote from then on really became my motto. I really realized that I needed to go full steam ahead in everything that I was participating in, and I needed to find things that I was passionate about. Needless to say, I try to live by it every single day from now on. So I think that as we graduate, we can really keep this motto in mind in everything that we do, no matter what our degree is. If you find something you're passionate about, go for it. Go at it full steam ahead. You love cats? Rescue 30 of them. To my engineering folks, you love doing integrals? Do so many of them. Why not? I guess you just really need to show your talent off because we spent so much money getting to this moment right here, and why not go out into the world and do great things? I'm so confident in our class of 2018. There's so many bright minds and people who are going to change the world. And I'm so honored to be graduating alongside each of you today. As always, it's a great day to be a Shocker. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Paige. I would now like to invite Provost of Wichita State University, Dr. Rick Muma, to this podium to introduce our next guest.
Thank you, Courtney. Good evening, Shockers. Come on. Good evening, Shockers. So it's my pleasure to introduce the President and CEO of the Kansas Board of Regents. This is the policy board that oversees higher education in Kansas. It's a tradition that someone from the board greets the graduates of each of the Regents' institutions. We are honored to have Dr. Blake Flanders with us today. Before serving in his current position, Dr. Flanders served as a Vice President for Workforce Development for the Kansas Board of Regents and provided executive leadership to the Kansas Post-Secondary Technical Education Authority. In this role, he was a state leader for issues involving the state's post-secondary education and training system, including targeted expansion of engineering and nursing programs. Dr. Flanders also led the state-level evaluation of research proposals within the experimental program to stimulate competitive research. Born in Edson, Kansas, Dr. Flanders is a graduate of Colby Community College and Kansas State University, where he earned a Bachelor of Science in Animal Science, a Master's of Science in Animal Science, and a Doctorate of Philosophy and Curriculum Instruction. Please help me welcome Dr. Flanders to Wichita State University.
Thank you, Provost Muma, President Bardot, members of the faculty and staff, and all the Shockers that are here to celebrate this special day. I am delighted and honored to bring you greetings and best wishes from the Kansas Board of Regents Thank you for allowing me to be with you today. Now, graduates, this is an amazing accomplishment, and I know this day and all the festivities that come with it symbolize many years of study, hard work, and commitment. And I would say that your timing is very good. Business right now has a ravenous appetite for talent in the workplace, particularly engineer and business talent. But I would say that we believe the aim of higher education goes beyond helping graduates like yourselves to succeed professionally, as important as that is. Rather, we know that higher education still remains the best way for people to improve the quality of their own lives, to raise the standard of living for their families, and to make an impact in our community and in our world. And I hope you will leave that kind of legacy. You're about to transition from student to alumni, and you will always remain a part of the Shocker Nation. But you will also become an alumni of the Kansas Regents system, and I hope you will join the more than 350,000 alumni residing here in Kansas. With your credentials and academic awards, you can go anywhere, but you don't have to. You can make Kansas your home. I wish each of you joy, happiness, and fulfillment wherever your chosen path takes you. Class of 2018, the Kansas Board of Regents offers our collective congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Flanders, for those congratulatory remarks. Next, I would like to invite the Dean of the College of Engineering, Dr. Royce Bowden, to the podium. As many of you know, Dr. Bowden, Dean of the College of Engineering, will be leaving this summer after 5 years of service to Wichita State and over 30 years in higher education. Under his leadership, the College of Engineering has increased the number of bachelor's degrees awarded by 47%, opened the new experiential engineering building, and raised over $21 million of gifts and pledges towards student scholarships, faculty chair positions, and equipment. These are extraordinary accomplishments, and we are very grateful. Please welcome Dr. Bowden.
Thank you, Provost Muma. That wasn't in the script, by the way. It is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Tom Gentile. Mr. Gentile was named President and CEO of Spirit AeroSystems in August 2016 after joining the company in April as Chief Operating Officer. Prior to Spirit, he served as President and CEO of GE Capital, overseeing global operations, IT, and capital planning. He serves on the Executive Committee of the Aerospace Industries Association and the governing board of the Greater Wichita Partnership and Kansas Big Brothers, Big Sisters. In addition, Tom is a champion of Spirit's Good Neighbor Employee Giving Program, and he also serves as a trustee of the ALS Finding a Cure organization. We are honored to have Tom with us today. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Gentile to Wichita State.
Thank you very much, Dean Bowden, and good evening. Please let me add my own congratulations to this year's graduating class of engineering and business students. Congratulations also to your parents. I know that they are all very proud of you as well right now. And many thanks to President Barto, Dean Bowden, and Dean Desai for inviting me to speak at this year's commencement. It is truly an honor. Earning your degree today is an important milestone and represents a lot of hard work and dedication. The experiences you have collected and the relationships you have built in the past few years have helped to shape who you are today and will continue to influence your future. But regardless if you are getting ready to start your dream job, or you're still looking for your first opportunity, or getting ready for further studies, Today marks the beginning of another journey as you begin to think about your future career and continued personal development. I encourage each of you to write down your grand vision for what impact you can have on your community and society. You have already demonstrated energy and creativity to get where you are today. So set the bar high and stretch yourself. Have a bold vision. You will miss every shot you do not take. I use a framework when I coach people about career development, PI, performance, image, and exposure. Performance matters. It is a threshold issue. At any given time, the most important thing you can do is the job at hand as well as you can. Think of every job or position you get as the one from which you will retire. Dedicate yourself to exceeding expectations. In other words, you have to perform well in your current role to get any consideration for future advancement. Wow people with your deliverables. Over the course of your career, you will develop an image, a reputation. Everyone should have a spike, a core competency that truly distinguishes you. Go deep in at least one area. Do what you commit to doing. Your say-do ratio does matter and is critical in building trust and relationships. Be a good teammate. No one likes to work with a jerk. Think of your reputation as 360 degrees. Earn people's respect. Help out others. If you do, someday when you need help, people will help you. And believe me, everyone needs help throughout their career. Think of it like building political capital. If you build enough and develop the right reputation, people will go out of their way to help you. It's not a binary transaction, however. The people you help are not necessarily the ones that will help you. One of the most important skills you will develop is networking and persuasion. No matter how senior you are in any organization, you have to get buy-in and build consensus to initiate any major change. Also, remember that you are constantly being evaluated. Just like you prepare for class, prepare for meetings, and make meaningful, substantive contributions. People notice, and it adds to the development of your image and reputation. And exposure matters. To get in the consideration set for a new position, key decision makers have to know who you are and what you can do. Document what you do and show how it has impact. You do not need to be a shameless self-promoter, but don't be afraid to highlight your accomplishments in the appropriate way. You should also get involved in as many activities as you can that will get you noticed. That can include community activities, special projects, and cross-functional initiatives. Also, think about activities outside of your organization. Oftentimes, industry associations, professional societies, and volunteer organizations are looking for people that can bring your fresh perspective and energy. Those opportunities are great ways to get exposure and to meet decision makers outside of your own organization and even inside it. When you are more senior and start to manage people, giving exposure to the members of your team will be one of your most important leadership responsibilities. As your career continues, no matter how successful you are, I regret to have to inform you that not everything will always go well. Your career journey will have many twists and turns. There will be setbacks and failures. What will matter is how resilient you are and what you learn from your mistakes. I have an analogy I'd like to share. Many of you are familiar with the handicap system in golf that allows people with different abilities to compete on a level playing field. For the engineers in the crowd, I have some math. A golfer's handicap is based on 80% of the average of the best 10 scores in your last 20 rounds, the best of the best. But I came across an interesting analytic many years ago called the anti-cap. It is the 80% of the average of a golfer's worst 10 scores in their last 20 rounds. The difference between the handicap and the anti-cap is a measure of the variation in a golfer's game. And I can assure you, my game has a lot of variations, so I'm quite familiar with that. But as I reflected on the handicap and the anti-cap, it occurred to me that there are some analogies with a person's resume. Many of you have probably been actively involved in developing and refining your own resumes recently for job interviews and applications. So your resume reflects the very best of everything you have done, all of your many strengths, accomplishments, and successes. But what does your anti-resume look like? All your weaknesses, failures, and disappointments. Those are things that probably only you know about, things that you would have never discussed with your parents, your friends, or colleagues. The jobs that you did not get, the projects that failed, the rejections, the schools that did not accept you, the missed deadlines, the embarrassments. And yet, those failures and weaknesses probably did more to shape you as the person you are today and the person you will become than the successes and the accomplishments. I know mine did. As an example, one thing that was on my resume for a long time was that I was the valedictorian in my high school class. But at our school, the valedictorian did not get to automatically give the commencement address. There was a competition. I entered and lost. That is on my anti-resume, and no one else knows about it. Well, all of you do now, because I just told you, but nobody did before. And it's one of the reasons, by the way, that I'm so happy that you invited me to speak today at your commencement. So make sure you know what your anti-resume looks like. Sadly, you will keep adding to that anti-resume throughout your career. My anti-resume continues to grow every day. Also, be resilient. After you're over the disappointment generated by an anti-resume experience, reflect on that experience and learn from it. Remember that bold vision that you started forming today as you leave the campus of Wichita State University. Do not give up on it no matter what happens. Find new ways to win. And avoid being too much in a hurry. Regardless of how successful you are, you will spend most of that career in front of you working your way up to your objectives. You will spend relatively little time in your final stop, whatever that happens to be. Enjoy the journey and build lasting relationships along the way. I wish you all great success in whatever you plan to do. You have been fortunate to benefit from the great professors, mentors, and resources of WSU. What you have learned from them will serve you well. Keep investing in your own personal development. Remember the PI framework. Perform well in every role you do. Leave things better than you found them. Build an image and a reputation as a great team player who delivers results, knows everyone, and is very persuasive. Get exposure inside and outside of your organization. That takes energy, so make the effort. And keep track of your anti-resume. Learn and grow from your failures and disappointments. Be resilient and take time to enjoy the journey. You will all be successful, I'm quite sure of that. So good luck to all of you, congratulations, and thank you.
Thank you, Tom, for those words of inspiration. I'm also glad we were able to subtract from your anti-resume. Of the over 546 candidates receiving undergraduate degrees this spring, 212 qualified for honors based on their work completed at the end of the fall 2017 semester. Would members of the Dorothy and Bill Cohen Honors College and students graduating summa cum laude, magna cum laude, and cum laude please stand and be recognized? You may be seated. There is another group that I wish to recognize. Would all current service members or veterans, including our students wearing the red, white, and blue cord representing our nation's flag, please stand. Ladies and gentlemen, through your service and the sacrifice of many of your brothers and sisters, this nation stands great. You protect and preserve our freedom, and in so doing, ensure the foundation of our education process. On behalf of a grateful university, I thank you. How about another round of applause? We have now come to the conferring of the degrees and graduate recognitions. Dr. Dennis Levesey, Dean of the Graduate School and Associate Vice President of Research and Technology Transfer, will present the candidates for graduate degrees. Dr. Anand Desai will present the W. Frank Barton School of Business candidates, and I will present the College of Engineering candidates for undergraduate degrees to President John Bardo, who will confer those degrees. After the degrees are conferred, candidates will come to the stage to be individually recognized. As graduates cross the stage, they will be awarded with a scroll and a Wichita State University Challenge coin from their university. Graduates, you have earned the right to carry the coin of your university. Do so as a constant reminder of your belonging to Wichita State, along with the other alumni, faculty, and staff. President Bardo and Dean Livesey, please come forward and present the doctoral candidates.
Will the candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy please stand? Mr. President, as Dean of the Graduate School, I present these candidates who have completed the requirements prescribed for the Doctor of Philosophy degree. They have been recommended by the faculty and are presented for the conferral of the degrees.
Thank you, Dean Livesey. Upon recommendation of the faculty, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Kansas Board of Regents, I confer upon you the appropriate degree with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. Welcome to the Guild of Scholars.
Please be seated. Will the candidates for master's degrees please stand? Mr. President, as Dean of the Graduate School, I present these candidates who have completed the requirements prescribed for the requirements of the Master of Accountancy, Master of Arts, Master of Business Administration, Master of Engineering Management, and Master of Science. The candidates have been recommended by the faculty and are presented for the conferral of these degrees.
Upon recommendation of the faculty, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Kansas Board of Regents, I confer upon you the appropriate degree with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining.
You may be seated. Will all the candidates for the Bachelor of Business Administration please stand? They have been recommended by the faculty and are presented for the conferral of these degrees.
Thank you, Dean Desai. Upon recommendation of the faculty, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Kansas Board of Regents, I confer upon you the appropriate degree with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining.
You may be seated. Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Aerospace Engineering, Biomedical Engineering, Computer Engineering, Computer Science, Electrical Engineering, Engineering Technology, Industrial Engineering, Manufacturing Engineering, and Mechanical Engineering please stand? Mr. President, these candidates have been recommended by the faculty and are presented for the conferral of these degrees.
Thank you, Dean Bowden. I'd also like to add my congratulations and thanks to Dean Bowden for all the work you have done here in the College of Engineering, and Godspeed to you and your family, your children.
Thank you.
Upon recommendation of the faculty, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Kansas Board of Regents, I confer upon you the appropriate degree with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining.
Please be seated. We will now recognize candidates individually as they come to the stage. Will the College of Engineering doctoral candidates please come forward with their dissertation advisor to be hooded.
Adam Carlton Lynch. Mohammed Al-Quraish. Salah Yahya A. Al-Gamadi. Ahmet Akgun. Abdurazak Shenair. Omid Sirus. Shabir Memon. Vishnu Cherasola Dev. Cindy R. Mason. Joy Yin Zen. Sarah Jirak. Vamsidhar Reddy Patlola.
Congratulations, College of Engineering doctoral candidates, graduates. Will the College of Engineering Master's candidates please come to the stage to be individually recognized?
Jeffrey David Whitey. Pedro Figueroa Raimundo. Jonathan Asanka Senaratne. Lee Lin Win Pham. Andrew David Twesme. Abhilash Lingam. Rumia Sultana. Nida Tuz Zora. Matthew W. McKenna. Yuaraz Shrestha. Krishna Chaitanya Kunukunda. Manasa Mucharla. Durga Bhavani Aluru. Naga Havisha Rakurti. Snigdha Mandal. Shruti Rajamohan. Sai Lakshmi Baragavi Turlapati. Sonal Suwarna. Matan Maxatefi. Varun Palaksha. Khalid Sadig Ahmed. Divyavani Dudu. Naga Manisha Punjala. Venkata Naga Sai Bhaskar Gupta Burle. Nithin Munti Madagu. Likith Sriharsha Yanapu. Sravan Kumar Matapali. Akshay Indulkar. Raghav Maini. Mohammed Alyami. Faisal Adil Gonaim. Abdul Rahman Al-Qatani. Nora Ali Al-Qatani. Sarah Abdulaziz Al-Tamami. Renju Joji Cheriam. Rohan Rajkumar. Roni Simon. Ashwin Rajesh. Dinesh Kumar Selapan. Kushal Mohan. Panchal Vedehi. Pavan Velor Kumara Swami. Varun Ramesh. Rohit Koluru. Tharun Reddy Chilakuru. Durga Venkata Suresh Kopaseti. Megasham Chinur. Saketh Reddy. Azur Hussain Muhammad. Syed Tajamul Hussain, Rahil Beg Mirza, Mohsin Thara, Anand Vijay Karupaya, Ravi Patel, Aditya Holkar, Raghvendra Deshmukh, Harsh Kumar Dodia, Lacey Montague, Bharadwaj Bejavarapu, Vivek Manoharan, Navin Velumani, Balamurugan Baladandapani, Pavitra Udaya Kumar, Pani Kumar Vuka, Nikhil Gunture, Kaushik Jivarathnam, Arun Karthik Manoharan, Akshay S. Patil, Christopher D. Timmons, Rajan Shrestha, Raj Kumar Bhatta, Milan Dahal, Hassan Abed Mubarak, Abdul Majid Yahya Azyabi, Harjinder Singh, Srirama Chandra Murthy Namali Kanti, Bhavya Rajan Panikar, Tharun Janarthanan, Panindra Pakalapati, Karthik Kardachur, Sankrith Jawahar, Viswa Chaitanya Kenakam, Sushal Bezawada, Akash Sanjay Veera, Rahul Pradeep Kanolkar, Jeannie Hasmukbai Patel, Amita Chandrasekhar Banagari, Shramona Patro, Akila Reddy Doda, Sharanya Balreddy, Yagna Siriki, Krishna Mohit Valavetti, Umair Ahmud Usmani, Humam Namir, Ramya Ramzi Muva, Saad Munir, Chu Li Chao, Chinmay Malwade, Harshit Joshi, Varun Siripurapu, Ravi Teja Naladi, Sushant Rao Poneri Vaman, Maharshi R. Kachana, Sai Rohan Reddy Gadam,
Congratulations, College of Engineering Master's graduates. At this time, I would like to invite the Barton School of Business Dean, Dr. Desai, to the podium.
Will the W. Frank Barton School of Business Master's candidates please come to the stage to be individually recognized?
Michael S. Sharbut. Stanislava Koncheva. Tyler Thomas O'Connor. Jared Francis Ross. Hamd Arif Malhi. Roger Wynn. Stephen Andrew Pyle. Tai Ton Wynn. Michael Joseph Rogers. Parker C. McConaughey. Alex Patrick Walters. Alex James Carlin. Logan Allred. Christian Coleman Kilgore. Austin Daniel Johnson. Miranda Ashley Davidson. Ryan Douglas Hagabush. Joshua Edwin Van Berklio. Stephanie Dawn Harper. Diamond Lockhart. Carrie Blaine. Ami Mehta Patel. Haley Nicole Acker. Christina Nicole Martinez Taylor. Ashley N. Pelz. Atanuke Ajay Yoba. Aso Nomel Joseph Henry Jejes. Molly Grace Hitch. Alexander Arturo Carter. Erica Dawn Cameron.
Congratulations, Barton School of Business Master's graduates. Will the candidates for the bachelor's degree in business please come to the stage to be individually recognized?
Aubrey Lynn Burkhart, graduating magna cum laude. Michaela Jazree Williams. Jacob Lewis Archer. Summa cum laude, Carmen Annika Resco. Morgan Marie Ward. Alexander Holbrook Miller. Graduating cum laude, Brian Connor Yerke. Corina Leanne Tuggle. Cum laude, Maria Elisa Arce Barakat. Cum laude, Joshua J. Geisler. Brianna Lynn Valentine. Magna cum laude, Lucas Andrew Sinclair. Cum laude, Gregory Richard Rubert. Jesse Oliver. Danielle Louise Gilmore. Kevin Tran. Philip Golden Kennedy III. Bonnie Armando Ornelas. Peyton Baker. Magna cum laude, Curie Qua. Summa cum laude, Alina Kiao. Vanessa Corrales. Jaiming Chen, graduating magna cum laude. Magna cum laude, Austin Chase Steffens. Magna cum laude, Reagan Ann Lebeg. Anakeo Chayasit. Catherine Diane Johnson. Tamara Dinar. Danner. Summa cum laude, Anthony Clinton Heitman. Drew Jordan Benning. Christopher Bryce Noggle. Fawaz Hamid. Abdul Rahman Alotebi. Turki Saud Almari. Qaid Saud Almari. Muhammad Mansour, graduating cum laude. Anna Patricia Rodriguez. Cum laude, Brennan Daniel Mader. Samantha Lynn Meyer. Cum laude, Alicia Marie Thompson. Cum laude, Erica Danielle Neeb. Harrison James Haydock. Cum laude, Jacob Garrett Wright. Magna cum laude, Whitney Joe Feltrop. Matthew Dean Kaiser. Alexander Lauren Hamill. Justin Michael Kaiser. Kellen Sheffield Philby. Summa cum laude, Toby J. Van Cleve. Magna cum laude, Adam Jeremiah Ritter. Magna cum laude, Colby Dawn Woods. Cum laude, Kelsey Ann Cowan. Tiffany Joe Cook. Cum laude, Lacey Lachey Murray. Jamie Plant. Lori Lynn Goodwin. Nurja Sawmill Shaw. Magna cum laude Natalie Elizabeth Lash. Shayna Michelle Mascarino. Charlotte Ann Coggins. Cum laude Lisa Lucero Cervantes. Sarah Mackenzie Harrison. Mohammed Daniel Fahim bin Mohammed Nasri. Nick Mohammed Azri Nick Hassan Suhaimi. Wirdan Idtula Mok Dizir. Abdul Hamid Wakili Aliyu. Karishna Shibash Bhakta. Asia Alyssa Catherine Moore. Alexis S. Pukonkum. Allison M. Boonvongsai. Cum laude Jacob DeBoard. Graduating cum laude Michaela Marie Yonda. Courtney Carlin. Laura K. Brockway, graduating magna cum laude. Summa cum laude Stephen Michael Sawatsky. Magna cum laude Jason Austin Doe. Anuraj Govardhana. Victor Brinky Cuelo. Jacob Allen Jackson. Will Henry Fellholter. Trevor Ray Hawkins. Keston Treby. Aaron R. Winsell. Magna cum laude Cale Robert Watchus. Douglas Michael Muma. Brian Vello. Tori Drew Ranowski. Daisy Vallis. Houston Joseph Howery III. Elizabeth Strunk. Tiana Jean Ghosh. Cum laude Madeline Elizabeth Holzim. Tessa Michael Shepis. Noah Michael Wolf. Addison Lee Wiley. Jonathan Michael Duval. Cum laude Jacob Corey Treat. Luke Evan Comark. Antoine E. Adkins. Adam Blake Tabor. Emmanuel Barrera. Magna cum laude Elizabeth Ann Omis. Cum laude Tiffany H. Vu. Tessa Teresa Maivai Teresa Doan. Carrington Jovan Bruce. Brandon William Van. Melody Cherie Munsell. Kayla Marie Bishop. Courtney N. Childress. Maria T. Wynn. Jason S. Winters. Christian Williams. Cum laude, Justin Trong. Andrea Cynthia Martinez. Cum laude, Blake Aaron Schoen. Summa cum laude, Patrick Michael Burris. Jacob John James. Eric Alejandre. Cum laude, Jocelyn de Velliers. Cum laude, J.C. Edward Lee Friesen. Peter Andrew Galding. Ricardo Mayagoitia. Cum laude, Samantha Lee Faley. Magna cum laude, Melissa Ann Hamilton. Cum laude, Andrew William Field. Megan Tessa Daly. William Fedor Daly III. Logan Timothy Kirkhart. Anthony Hong Mai. Mark Narangvate. Colin Ray Edwards. Nathaniel Levere Hermes. Graduating summa cum laude, Aliyah Zakaria Al-Musawi. Eamon Marhone Al-Seharti. Cum laude, Shahad Sami M. Kassar. Cum laude, Penny Than Win. Therese Lockmiller. Shannon R. Crumless. Jeffrey Blaine Curtis, magna cum laude. Cum laude, Nicole Lynn Jasso. Alyssa Murillo. Magna cum laude, Chelsea Aileen Pinkerton. Logan Daniel Runberg. Jeremy L. Hoover. Yasin Wirasuria. Yuri Georgi, magna cum laude. Rodney Rojas. Cum laude, Hui Henry Ho. Jessica Ray Rao Albertson. Magna cum laude, David Michael Thacker. Keaton Thomas Timish. Monica P. Lewis. Quatana Angelica Chantel Lynn Woods. Jalissa Rochelle Peterson. Ayan Tulani Moktzir. Karina Vargas. Eric Katzenmeyer. Laura Kristen Hayworth. Cum laude, Melissa McKinney. Jared Keith Bainan. Jacob Glenn Nisley. Magna cum laude, Tanner Blaine Huff. Cum laude, Luke Michael Roy. Glenn Lewis Sutton. Darren Austin Lee. Cum laude, Jocelyn Galicia. Fanny Ochoa Castro. Chandler Renee Benway. Magna cum laude, Ajay H. Carpenter. Magna cum laude Jordan Janet Newby. Nidia Gurola. Mackenzie D. Gardner. Cum laude Brisa Gallegos. Selena Martinez. Jennifer Cabrera. Magna cum laude Amy Tui Vuong. Graduating cum laude Paul Moran. Caleb Christopher Turner Hernandez. Daniel Carlos. Krisha K. Parmar. Sarah Marie Castleman. Kayla Rose Luciano. Alex Sterling Peters. Danielle Janae Fleming. Magna cum laude Wade Scott Mace. Edgar Ritana. Ziad Kunus Alkunus, graduating cum laude. Erica Adkins. Bryce E. Russell. Ashita Singh. Jamie Rivas. Amanda Christine Woodard. Terry Lynn Townsley. Jackson Thomas Peterson. Magna cum laude Bailey Adam Bryant. Magna cum laude Derek Dwight Holmes. Cum laude Austin Scott Daniels. Glenn Edward Manning Cox. Thomas Varenhorst. Cum laude Kiana Shell Durnan. Magna cum laude Brittany Marie Labens. Chase Ian Goff. Summa cum laude Sarah Sophie Carroll. Cum laude Emily Kennedy. Kung Pham. Junian Marcels Johnson. Graduating cum laude Terius Williams. Cum laude Kaylee Michelle Egbert. Munawar Kunus Al-Kunus. Sultan Muhammad S. Abu Thnain. Abdulaziz Salah Al-Aqil.
Congratulations, Barton School of Business bachelor's graduates. You may now move your tassels to the left. At this time, I would like to invite the College of Engineering Dean, Dr. Barton, to the podium.
Will candidates for the bachelor's degrees in the College of Engineering please come to the stage to be individually recognized?
We are pleased to recognize the next two graduates. We are pleased to recognize the next two graduates as recipients of the Harold and Melba Sullivan Award in Engineering. This award was established in 1966 in memory of Mr. H.W. Sullivan, and it's given annually to the graduating senior or seniors who have achieved the highest grade point average for work completed toward an engineering degree. So the first of the two Sullivan Award recipients, graduating summa cum laude, Nathan Allen England. Also receiving the Sullivan Award and graduating summa cum laude, Josie Elizabeth Eck. Cum laude, Paige Elizabeth Hungate. Melissa Marie Daly. Cum laude, Christian Wallace May. Cum laude, Connor Patrick Relf. Cum laude, Colton Robert Dean DeVork. Cum laude, William A. Murdoch. Magna cum laude, Elliot Richard Walker Hennett. Cum laude, Drew Arthur Darsh. Brian Wynn Pham. Danielle C. McLean. Cum laude, Larkin Sage Paris. Brandon Gary Hildebrand. Mario A. Grimaldo. Ryan Eichbush. Tanner Black. Cum laude, Diego Armando Garcia Renteria. Stephen Xavier Velasquez Perez. Magna cum laude, Alfredo Miguel Fields. Cum laude, Manny Villarreal Barboza. Chasney Adriana Caesar. Nicholas Dean Cook. Magna cum laude, Timmy V. Tran. Andrew Van Wynn. Cum laude, Taylor Ray Haas. Cum laude, Tyler Hull. Summa cum laude, Jacob Allen Everhart. Yang Kim Lee. Jonathan Raymond Tinto. Cassie L. Shaw. Servando Dominic Gonzalez. Graduating cum laude is Nicholas McNeil. Cum laude, Ian Andrew Santry. Frederick Shields Fair, Jr. Magna cum laude, Jorge Eduardo Mesqueda Espinoza. Summa cum laude, Joe David DeVolt, Jr. Magna cum laude, Dennis Manuel Sandoval. Magna cum laude, Levi Seth Mann. Timer Azmat Khan. Jesse Glenn Lowe. Josiah Avery. Gerardo Ignacio Arboleda Gonzalez. Khaled Al-Mutiri. Cum laude, Francisco Javier Martinez Arevalo. Umer Zaumi. Magna cum laude, Mohammed Ahmed Mustafa. Sai Terun Prabhu Bande Megala. Amber Lee Fisher. Emilio Rocha. Graduating cum laude, Stephen Gong. Cum laude, Conrad Lee Walcher. Kanishk Gupta. Rustam Hamuri. Cum laude, Todd Anthony Vandergrift, Jr. Vishma Rajakaruna. Graduating cum laude, Mohammed Abdul Majid M. Banafa. Cum laude, Al-Zubair B. Khalifa Sharif. Abdulaziz Matuk Al-Malki. Motaz Al-Rahman. Abdulaziz Mohammed A. Al-Thaqafi. Omar Dea Kodair. Salah Musleh Al-Majnouni. Fadi Ayman Gurgis, summa cum laude. Magna cum laude, Endam Chunwi K. Ola Olowapo Joshua Ajay. DeAndre Chad Cohn. Muhammad Ibrahim Aldakil. Cum laude, Akram Napoleon Abu Kalam. Aneth Michael Marrow. Cum laude, Wilhelmi Tobias Claru. Cum laude, Graham Karani Ombati. Cum laude, Isaac Ward Breathauer. Cum laude, Jeffrey W. Hammonds. Magna cum laude, Jason Robert Sizeski. Drew Christopher Pearson. Magna cum laude, Brock Allen Milford. Cum laude, Xinwei Huang. Cum laude, Maria Lucia Talavera Zorakin. Magna cum laude, Maria Alejandra Villalobos Cardenas. Samantha Taylor Stewart. Magna cum laude, Fatma Ebru Barut. Magna cum laude, Amy Phoenix McLean. Abdulaziz Awad Aljabab. Summa cum laude, Caleb Daniel Wren. Summa cum laude, Chase Dwight Sackett. Cum laude, Carol Vilathput. Alexandra M. Ortiz Jimenez. Thendol Wenskosi, Lugawahi Rudo Musagezi. Rachit Rajput. Hera Khalid. Magna cum laude, Kriti Tomraker. Lucas Addison Mackey. Magna cum laude, Hein Min Don. Graduating magna cum laude, Dylan Michael McAdoo. Magna cum laude, Michael Olin Emo. Cum laude, Mohsin Zahid. Magna cum laude, Stephen Kelly Wiebe. Magna cum laude, Caleb Arthur Reddig. Colby Michael Camp. Maxwell Robinson Brandt. Jia Yen Ko. Dhanachandra Lakshan Rubasinghe. Marlon Balasuria. W. Chinthaka Fernando. Gayan Kanishka Silver. Tharaka Dushyanta Nandakumara Kuragamage. Kim Swin Win. Van Win, magna cum laude. Summa cum laude, V. Lee. Magna cum laude, An Vo. Cum laude, Dao T. Lam. Magna cum laude, Selena Nyet Win. Cum laude, Vu Q Trin. Bin Viet Win. Cum laude, Nia V. Tiu. Summa cum laude, Thomas Tran. Abdullah Al-Baki Sifat. Schwinn Yi Lee. Farhan Chowdhury. Cum laude, Ryan Dean Knight. Summa cum laude, Sawyer Leon Kruger Lesage. Summa cum laude, Laura Adriana Sanchez Paredes. Magna cum laude, Mark A. Warhurst. Cum laude, Pranav Sathya Prasad. Oliver Lopez. Cum laude, Shubham Bhaskar Thakare. Magna cum laude, Zahedon Kidwai. Timothy Michael. Uzair Hamid. Dishank Patel. Cum laude, Basant Thapa. Cum laude, Anju Shrestha. Ananya Yadavali. Cum laude, Stacia Elise Scritchfield. Magna cum laude, Sarah M. Jones. Magna cum laude, Hannah Christine Hund. Magna cum laude, Jennifer B. Matar. Tammy E. Dorsey. Magna cum laude, Jessica May Gale. Cum laude, Nicole Osiris Ramirez. Summa cum laude, Jacqueline Diem Chow Dang. Fatima Ali Al-Wakil. Sarah Abdul Wahed Alkars. Sarah Muhammad K. Alhaza. Cum laude, Ashwin Govindarajan. Cum laude, Zishan Khan. Magna cum laude, William Edward Marsh. Magna cum laude, Fayez Hamoud Al-Ruwaili. Magna cum laude, Min Chao Johnson. Vanessa Tran. Shannon Mills. Scott Robert Farwell. Magna cum laude, Amelia Niece Sample. Cum laude, Garrett Eugene Wolf. Cum laude, Caitlin Janine Norris. Magna cum laude, Jessica Lee Aldrich. Magna cum laude, Jacob Lee Griffith. Magna cum laude, Braden Kyle Stewart. Summa cum laude, Alexandra Nicole Dagan. Damian Jr. Arendt. Magna cum laude, Casey Marie Shotwell. Landon Joseph Roseberry. William John Bachman. Joe Lauren Ferrigo. Cum laude, Joshua Logan Chase. Isvi Ramos. Alex Michael Holler, graduating cum laude. Matt Hankins. Cum laude, Prativa Basnet. Joseph James Johnston IV. Magna cum laude, Tweevy Tran Win. Magna cum laude, Mai Dang. Magna cum laude, Samuel Scott Raimundo Schwartz. Bin Phuong Dang. Xingjian Shen. Graduating cum laude, Christian Kinosis Amposta. Adnan Abbas Jafal. Ryan Daniel Ramsey. Summa cum laude, Michael Aaron Lee. Jessica Rose Kozicki Taha. Tanner Worth. Daniel Justin Corrieri. Jalal Abdullah Al-Duki. Ali Hassan A. Alali. Amar Yaqub Al-Ghasham. Rami Al-Sadi. Graduating magna cum laude, Muhammad Mustafa A. Al-Nazir. Ayman Abdul Jalil Al-Hamud. Nuaf Salah Al-Muhammad. Magna cum laude, Maria Rice. Courtney Shanice Cabral. Jillian Cheyenne Steed. Bobby Mark Pangvongsa. Magna cum laude, Brett Isaac Johnston. Magna cum laude, Courtney Diane Allen. J.C. Ashlyn Good. Jimmy Ashkar. Matthew P. Caravilla. Eric Ryan Gordon. Tharusha Nawanjana Gunatelake.
Congratulations, College of Engineering graduates. You may now move your tassels to the left. You may be seated. This concludes the conferring of the degrees and the recognition of the candidates. Will the banner bearers please come to the stage and take your positions? At this time, I would like to invite the president of Wichita State University, Dr. John Barto, back to the podium for a few closing remarks.
Before we conclude the ceremony, we have one more important group of individuals to recognize. Their belief in the success of the graduates seated before us today sustains one of the great American dreams, belief in the importance of education and to enhance the quality of life for individuals and to affect positive change in the world. Here with us today are those who have dreamed the dream with our graduates, spent time with them, given them encouragement, and provided the support needed to accomplish this seminal, life-changing goal of a university degree. With the parents, spouses, partners, children, friends, and extended family of our graduates, please rise. Graduates, please recognize them. Now, I know it's Saturday night, but y'all can do better than that. And now it's my pleasure to reintroduce Troy, Caleb, Jake, and Matt, who will sing the alma mater and the fight song.
Our alma mater, Wichita, stands proudly on the hill. Our sons and daughters bow to thee, our hearts with praise we fill. Hail our alma mater, hail thee grand and true. Long wave the yellow and the black, oh Wichita. Oh, hail, hail, Wichita, you roar for Wichita. March onward, banners high, with courage, force that can never die. We'll fight for Wichita, with spirits to Wichita loyalty. Hail our varsity triumphantly, you don't want to go to war. Go!
The 120th Spring Commencement Ceremony is now concluded. Please remain standing for the recessional.